Friday morning. I believe it is the 1st of June 2018. We are in Oklahoma. Check out the happy pintos. The happy pintos are going nuts. Much like this ant that's on my foot biting me. Although, opposite ends of the spectrum. One, I'm very happy about. The other, I'm not so happy about. Let's go bird walking. So the term bird walking, there are birds out here, and I am walking. But bird walking is the art of bouncing from one subject to the next, to the next, to the next. And just, loosely tying them all together. And that's my definition for something that a teacher that I had when I was a young man used to do all the time. And I always appreciated his teaching methodology by doing that. And I don't know, I never purposely adopted his style, but it suits me. So, when I say bird walking, I'm talking about bouncing from one subject to the next, to the next, to the next, not the fact that we're walking and there are birds out here. Although that is nice, that is part of it. Why did he close one eye when he looked through the scope? Normally I keep both open, but the sun's over there. Alright, so let's get down to business. Derek Kamingo has asked, or at least made the comment, that he's new to all this preparedness stuff. And he's gonna, he needs to get a bag put together, a bug out bag. What does he do? Well, I have videos on that, brother, so you can go back channel. You can look at the what's in a bug out bag video. And you can look at my bug out system video. You can look at the one I just did last weekend about can you actually bug out. There's a discussion of everything I carry in there. Then I'm also going to tell you that the basic 5 C's of survival. You need a cutting tool. It's going to be your fixed blade knife. You need a container. I'd recommend a metal, steel, or brushed aluminum. 1 quart water bottle, single wall, not a double wall, because not like an insulated water bottle, but a single wall. So when you cook or heat water in that over top of a fire, the heat from the fire actually carries to the water inside, not a double wall, because there's an air gap in there, which is what keeps drinks cold or hot. Acts as an insulator. Air is an excellent insulator. That's why the insulation in your home or in your clothes or anywhere else, all it does is it has loft. It's fluffy to trap air, which then traps heat, which then keeps you warm. So, another great idea is to get you can get them at Walmart for about $6, camp cups. Steel camp cups, the little foldable handles, and they fit around the bottom of your water bottle. And that's very helpful to have as well, because it can work as a little pot for cooking your rice, or you're making a squirrel stew or whatever. And you can heat up water, purify water in that by boiling or whatever. I like it, and for $6 it's worth it. So, cutting tool, container, and on the cutting tool, a good fixed blade knife could be a Mora companion for $15. It could be an SE6 for 215 bucks. But preferably a 3/4 to full tang knife that is sharp, and as your first knife should not be too big. Should be maybe, the blade should be maybe the size of your palm or your fingers. Like the whole thing, the whole blade should go from your wrist to the tip of your fingers, max. Because mostly what knives are used for, regardless of the bushcraft, survivalism, mental masturbation that most people participate in, predominantly knives are used for food preparation. Dressing small game, cutting up an apple, spreading peanut butter, cutting the plastic sack on your MRE open. That's what knives are generally used for. They're not really used for Rambo stuff or trying to take that pile of brush back there and turn it into a shelter. Good skill to have, and that can be done. And to use your knife to do that would be a good idea, but generally it's food prep. So good fixed blade knife, a container, combustion, that's going to be your fire kit. So a Moore Companion is 15 bucks. Call it 20 with shipping off of Amazon. Steel water bottle and a steel cup from Walmart would be about another 15 bucks. So you're at $35. A fire kit. Okay. Get your waterproof container. It can be doubled up quart Ziploc bags, or it could be a little Plano brand watertight box. You can get those at Walmart for $5. Okay, so you're at $40. Put 2 Bic lighters in there, $5, $45. A ferrocerium rod. That's gonna be about 10 bucks, so you're $55. Magnesium bar, another $5, 60 bucks. Couple of tea lights and some tinder, $0. And some matches. Okay, whatever. Total, let's say you're at 65 bucks all in. That's your fire kit. 65 bucks. Combustion container, cutting tool, cordage. 2 100-foot hanks of paracords. That's another $25. 85 total. Cut one of them, one length, or one 100-foot thing of paracord. Make about 6 arm's length long from one fingertip to your other fingertip. In my case, it'd be just about 6 feet. Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man. Make about 6 of those 6-foot long pieces. Cut them with your fixed blade knife, and then light the ends on fire with your lighter so that they smolder, so that they don't unravel after being cut. And then you just wad them up into a ball and tie them onto themselves, make a ball out of it. And then you'll have about 60-ish feet left over, 64 feet, whatever. Cut that into 4 pieces, approximately 15 to 16 feet long. That is enough paracord, predominantly speaking, to do everything that you need to do with paracord, except for one thing, in my opinion, and that is hang your food in a tree if you need to. If you're in bear country or coyote country or Sasquatch country or whatever, right? Which generally speaking, you're in somebody's territory, somebody that wants to eat your food and or you. So to hang your food near your camp, but not in your camp, up in a tree off the ground, it's nice to have a longer line. That's live on camera. The old stool I was sitting on just broke. Sweet. All right then. So that other 100-foot Hank paracord, yes, I kept the muzzle of the rifle out of the ground because I'm a tactical genius. The other 100-foot Hank paracord, I usually leave in 100-foot length. And then if I need to throw a line up through a tree, I do. How do you do that? Tie something heavy to the end of the 100-foot piece, like a rock or a stick or whatever, and just swing it around and launch it up through the tree. And then you can, the end that you're holding, after you swing it up in there, you can shake it back and forth like this and pay a little bit of line out, and the weight that goes up over that line will drop down, and you can grab that weight and tie your food onto it. Okay, good talk. There's your cordage. Combustion cutting tool, container, cordage. The last one is cover. Cover is everything that's in between you and the elements. Now remember, we're at $85 here. So you can get a cheap bag, 20 bucks, it'd be $105. If it's a cheap bag, just understand it's gonna fall apart. You can get a decent bag for about 50 bucks. But we'll just say $20, $25, 110 bucks. Okay. Cover. It's as much or as little as you want it to be, bro. Throw some clothes in there. 55-gallon drum liners go a long way. About 4 of them. Okay, I would recommend getting a tarp, even if it's a tarp from Home Depot. 20 bucks. You're at $140, right? Or $130. Okay. Get a wool blanket, 20 bucks. $160. It's your basic sleep system. Less than ideal, way better than nothing. Mosquito net for $15 this time of year. $155. Let's see. Couple emergency blankets and a bivy sack, like a SOL bivy sack. Be another $20. So $180-ish we're at right now. You need to get a compass. Okay, that's your 5 C's. Cutting tool, combustion, cordage, container, and cover. And then you need a compass, and you need maps of your area. That's going to put you right about the $200 range for your basic bug out bag. We've talked about this quite a bit in other channel or other videos on this channel. Not other channels, I only have one channel. Homemade gummy bears. All right. About 200 bucks is going to get you the basics that you need for your pack. The cool thing is you don't have to buy it all at one time. Other things I would definitely add: a Sawyer Mini as your basic water filter, 20 bucks at Walmart, $220. Socks, preferably wool. You get 3 pairs at Walmart for another 20 bucks. Okay, 240 bucks. I would say if you had $250 to $300 to put towards a basic bug out bag, you would get there and you would get the job done fairly well. The next thing I'm going to tell you after you do all of that is to strap it to your back and go for a walk. And then go for a hike. And then go for a long hike. Okay. There you go, brother. That's for you, Mr. Derek Kamingo. Please comment below, and then everybody else, all you good intentioned people out there, you can make suggestions, polite suggestions, about what else he might consider having in his bag. There are myriad other things that you can and probably should have in your bag, but the basics is what I just described, in my opinion. Okay, moving on. I've had a lot of people ask about coming here. Just so everybody's aware, nobody has come here yet. And it's not a race on my end. This is not first come, first serve. But That might be wild grape I'm looking at right there. Okay, like muscadine. It's not first come, first serve. But we are not going to do the straightway model here. We're not going to have people come live on the land here and then pool our resources and then move out onto other land that they then buy. I think it's a great model. I have my reservations with that system, not because of that system, but because of my ability to effectively enact that system here. I am not here 4 days a week. My wife has her hands full already. I cannot just bring in people, nice, well-meaning, good people, but people nonetheless. And there are those of you that know who you are. I've been in talks with many of y'all. So this is for y'all. And anybody else that has this idea. I can't bring people here. I can't do it in good conscience. I have an 80-year-old woman, my wife, and 3 kids here. Now, my wife will smoke you with a 357 if she needs to. So don't anybody get any crazy ideas. But I'm here 3 days a week, gone 4 days a week. Which leaves her to administer the running of the property. And she is already thoroughly covered up. And it's just not something that we want to do as a family. In fact, it's something that we discussed and decided against before we ever had this place. And now that we have this place, it's obvious that we cannot facilitate more people here, especially right now. So I don't even have room really to put more people. In an emergency, yes, we would make that happen. But for daily living, there are empty bedrooms at Grandma's house, but it's Grandma's house. And Grandma wants those rooms for friends and family to come visit, which they are and will be. So they're kind of already spoken for. And it's just an interesting situational dynamic that I don't want to exacerbate. So we are not in a position to do the straightway thing. We're not going to do the straightway thing, which is to say, bring people here, pool our resources, and then strike out and buy more land. So our interest is to do the Pastor Joe thing, which is to have people purchase land near us, next to us, across the street from us, up the road from us, and to form a more loose-knit community that way. So, and that has its own challenges, and I get that, but that's where we are, at least right now. That's where we are. It's what we got. And I'm doing my best to facilitate that as best I can for a handful of people right now. I'm one man, guys. I'm one man. And I often feel as though there's not enough of me to go around. Which is interesting, because I'm not a tiny man. I'm a big fella. So, what else? What else? I have to run into town today. It's Friday, the day of prep. It's also Friday, the day that Harlan has his birthday party. And that should be interesting. Geez, what the heck was that? I'm having a hard time this morning. That's gonna make a good outtake. That was a kissing bug, I think. I feel like I just got kissed on the bridge of my nose. And that freaking jerk, he flew all the way back up there in that tree. He just came down, whap, and flew back again. Thanks, guy. Thank you. All right. I babble on. Come out of her, my people. Babylon. Babble on. Babylon. I gotta work on this bridge some more. I gotta go talk to a guy about a tractor today, which could be very useful because I got logs like that I moved there with chains and come-alongs and brute strength, and it'd be much easier to move with a tractor. So I got to get that going. Got to measure for fence for a goat pen. Got to find out when the next sale is at the sale barn to get goats. Like, it's non-stop. It's non-stop, and I think that's something that people need to consider for an SHTF scenario if you're gonna bug out to the wilderness. Which I've never met anybody who was very serious about survivalism who said that was going to be their plan. It always seems to be the people who don't have a plan at all. The amateurs will say, who are like, I'm just going to go to the wilderness. Dude, you're going to be smoked at the end of the first day and probably dead by the third day. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work right now with running water and electricity and vehicles. It's going to be tons of work without any of that, if that's what the end of the world as we know it looks like. Which is why I advocate having a team. Which is why I'm trying to build Tribe B, as I was encouraged to do here in Oklahoma. It's why I'm trying to import people from Tribe A, from Texas, to Oklahoma. There's a bunny in yon woods, which means I should probably schwack him. Oh yeah, another thing. Barnes 185 grain, solid copper hollow points, plus P, 45 ACP, work wonders on cottontail rabbits. I got here about 8:30 last night, about 8:15 really, and I was walking around checking out the garden last night about 8:30, last little modicum of daylight, and there was a big old bunny sitting in the middle of my pinto beans, and I was none too happy about that. So from about 10 yards away, in low light, with a 45, I schwacked said bunny. And I have zero remorse for it. In fact, I can show you right there. See that divot? That divot in the ground is where the round went in. He was just this side of the pinto beans in between me and him. And so there's the divot. See that hole? And I shot from right the other side of that tree. So actually, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah. I'd say about 9 yards. About 9 yards. Can you hit a target that big? Because I domed him. Can you hit a target that big with your pistol at night in low light conditions? This is not me bragging, although I'm very happy about it because, you know, square. Oh, and there's a snake. See him? Did y'all see him? Square range stuff is great. Static shooting. You stand still, target stands still. Real world stuff is what really matters. So, granted, this was a rabbit, not a bad guy, but if you had to punch a bad guy's ticket at 10 yards, you had to hit the terminal T. What's that? The top of the nasal cavity and the ocular cavity. This is the terminal T. And that instantly flips the switch instantly, like that. So if you had to hit the terminal T at 10 yards in low light conditions on a bad guy with your handgun in a split second, could you do it? Please train to do so. I gotta kill this snake. So, all right, y'all. That's our bird walk for this morning. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Alright, was literally just walking. I'm right here by the house. Okay. Was literally just walking up into the house and dropped the magazine out of this little rifle and stripped the round out of the chamber. And then took that round out of the chamber, topped the magazine off again, and a little bun. It's a little 1.5 pound whitetail, or why do I keep saying whitetail? Cottontail. Little bun comes running from over there, which is where all my green beans are. Comes running over there through this open portion of the fence right here. See, there's 2x4 welded wire on the rest of the fence, but not right here. So that's something I'll have to think about. Comes running right out of there. It's right over there in those trees. And he is now in Bunny Valhalla. I'll spare you all the gruesome details, but suffice it to say, the bear wins again. So in less than 12 hours, I have now schwacked 2 rabbits and a snake, and got attacked by a bug and broke my stool. So, yay country living. It's almost a shame. I wish that I don't wish, but we don't eat rabbit anymore. Probably just gonna start feeding them to the compost pile. So, well, you shouldn't shoot them. They shouldn't eat my food. They're surrounded by natural rabbit food. They have their food. They can eat it. Don't touch my food, or I'll make you a statistic, bun.